Josh Huseby to my right of Stone Restoration Works in Denver, Colorado, and Sureshine Service Network, and Stu Rosen with MB Stone Professional. And, well, he doesn't really need to be introduced, but he kind of comes with his own introduction. So, what are you guys doing today?
Well, we're finishing up the show today. Last day of the show, and still seeing customers slow down a little bit today. So we've got some time to talk about and tell people what we do, if they don't already know.
All right. So what do you do?
Well, we supply stone refinishing companies with machinery, abrasives, polishing compounds, training. We're training for anti-etch, which is growing rapidly. We're training for Adsil. Of course, we have our core training classes for stone refinishing, so an introduction to stone. We have our advanced countertop classes, our advanced floor classes, which are all hands-on, run by myself and Cameron, and occasionally we have guests coming in as well. We're now training for Adsil, which is something that we're really finding interesting, which we'd like to speak about and let people know that we're doing that. We find it to be a great service to commercial ceramic installations and porcelain and other surfaces that we normally as stone refinishers didn't have the opportunity to service or create revenue from.
Awesome. And what do you do, Josh?
Yeah, I have a stone restoration company, as you mentioned earlier, in Denver, Colorado. I get almost all of my stuff from Stu, I think. I don't think there's... Yeah, all my polished compounds, diamond abrasives, the DIP pads. For those, a lot of us unfortunately had to rely on very patient customers when we started out in this business and had to learn all of our mistakes the hard way. So taking advantage of the training, the hands-on training that Stu provides at his facility is, it's really invaluable because then you're not relying on very patient customers to cut your teeth trying to figure out, how to polish stone. You're not fixing somebody's, you're not refinishing someone's countertop for the first time live in someone's house. So, taking advantage of those training, those hands-on training sessions is really invaluable.
Yeah. I find it invaluable too. We used to, before Stu kind of absorbed Easy Stone Care, I was with Cameron. We were training on the West Coast. Now Stu has a training center on the West Coast down in San Diego at Pure Stone Care, right?
Yeah.
And they've already done
Cameron
a couple. With Cameron Stewart as well. And they've already done a couple of training classes, maybe 3 or 4.
They've had some pretty successful classes. His next class, I believe, is in February, and I think it's filled up already. I think there might be a couple of spots, but he is very stoked about it. The classes are going well. We're excited about that, having a West Coast facility. He's also distributing products, and he has machines in stock and on hand. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah. But you guys, I know we're talking about the training, but I think all of us are also in different business. We actually do the work, So you operate a restoration company in New York, right?
Yes. Yep.
Josh, you operate a restoration company in Denver. So with regard to Stoneshine in New York, what would you say has been the best, in the last couple of years or last year or so? What would you say has helped you in your business the most? Or what would you say has provided the kind of promotion that you need in your business?
It's really interesting. Our business after COVID has changed or morphed so much. Where we were running 6 crews, now we're down to 2 to 3 crews and taking on a higher class of clientele. So where our service has definitely increased in the anti-etch area of coatings for high-end clients, and our refinishing has done that as well. We're doing a lot of New York City work, and we're in Connecticut. We're working in larger homes for bigger architects and developers and builders, solving a lot of problems, getting on site, getting a lot of calls in for that. I think COVID really changed how we look at business, how we gauge our business. So I think it's been it's really advanced us to the point where we've just changed around what we do. In our case.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
So I've seen huge growth in anti-etch in the last year in the Denver market. I think there's one other applicator in Denver, and so we're getting a lot more interest in that. Having access to the service network, incorporating my business, Stone Restoration Works, into the service network has been really helpful in the last 12 months. We focus on through the service network, we are focusing mostly on like tile and grout cleaning.
Yep.
At least for my business.
Right now in the service network,
yeah,
right?
At least right now. But we can easily focus on marble floor polishing or countertops, repairs, or the anti-etch offering. But I've seen a big uptick in phone calls generated from our involvement in the service network. So
that's the Sureshine Service Network.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So from a business acquisition standpoint, capturing more leads, in the last 12 months, there's been a significant increase in the number of phone calls that I'm getting into my general business for everything that we do. Just by being part of the network, and then obviously being part of the network, we also have access to other contractors all over the country.
Yeah, that's huge.
Through the Facebook group and all that kind of stuff, and it's really nice to sometimes somebody will post something, an issue that they run into in their local market, and it's something that I ran into, say, just a couple weeks past, and then you'll be able to see not only how they handled that problem, but then you also get a lot of feedback from other people with their own ideas of how a particular problem was solved or a particular situation was tackled in their local market. So just having access to that brain trust of different people from all over the country has been fantastic. It was one of the nice things too about those the hands-on trainings.
You meet amazing people.
You meet people.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times I've gone to, whether they were the classes that you and Cameron were running in Palm Springs, or when I've been out east, even if other people in the class look at you as an expert or a subject matter expert, I always learn something every single time I go. Every single time I'm in one of those classes, I learn something new that I can then take home and incorporate into my business. And frankly, when I first started, going to those classes, the biggest thing that I learned was how to teach other people what I do.
Yeah.
And that has allowed me to build a crew that I can rely on. I can give one of my guys whether it's a shower refinish and polish or a countertop or a floor. I know the process that they're going to go through.
Yes.
I learned how to teach them that by going to those classes and talking to everybody from all over the country, talking to you guys, and then kind of watching how people learn. I mean, that's the biggest benefit that all that has had. And now the guys that I have, my crew working for me, they've been with me for 6, 7 years, 8 years. One of my guys have been with me for 8 years. And so these are guys that I can trust to go deliver a project up to my standards and make make a customer happy.
Yeah, that's the part of the problem, right? When you're training somebody is how do you train? And when you go to a class like this, like 4-day class, I know it's hard. Like if you're going to build a class like that, you wrestle with how do you train somebody that's paying you for the training in 4 days?
Yeah.
It's intensive, but it's basically just a condensed process of training a technician in the field. It's just you have somebody there that's paid for it, that's super motivated to learn. Like he's going to absorb everything he can, take notes, everything. People that work hourly maybe not doing that, but you're taking the time to train them over that period of time. We only have 4 days to train somebody. Like say I think that's probably one of the reasons why you guys separated your classes out, right? I mean, like you have the intro class and then you have the more advanced classes. We were doing the advanced and the intro at the same time. That was crazy. We did it for 8 years, Yeah. And I think now you're able to slow the class down so that people come out of those classes much more competent in the subject matter.
They'll have more time. It's a lot easier to experiment in a training center, on a floor that's been installed specifically to teach people how to do stone restoration,
right,
rather than, like I said earlier, relying on the patience of paying customers, homeowners. They tend not to, be super thrilled that you're learning something on their, in their house.
So where would somebody go, Stu, to find training classes in the United States? Really, they could be anywhere in the world, but the training classes are happening in the United States, obviously.
So first, I'm really excited about what you guys are talking about, and I love what Josh said and agree 100%. We've been involved with Sureshine Network since its inception. We're watching that grow. This is such awesome stuff. So as we watch the network grow, we get feedback from a lot of people that when you come to training, you get involved in the network and you get involved with online classes. So what you're talking about too, it's exciting, and I agree so much with that because yes, people come to a class now and it's so much more because we split the classes up. So we have more time to work on the intro subjects instead of doing all these different things and running all over the place. They're more structured, but what's really cool about all this is there's online training. So if you come to a class and you need to refer back,
you get access to the online
some
training.
of these segments, they're all online.
Yeah.
And
there's so much information out there, on different Facebook groups, and I mean, we've all been for more than 10 years, all working together, talking, teaching classes in various places. There's so much information out there. A lot of times people show up already kind of having a primer, if you will. That's one of the benefits of being part of that network is every network member also has access to the StoneCare EDU, like library of classes.
Right.
So you can, really prep yourself for the hands-on class. So you're not learning all these terms and hearing all these terms for the first time live in the class.
Right.
You already have some at least baseline level of familiarity with the processes, with the systems that we teach, and then it makes the whole experience for you in the class, start to finish, much, much better. Yeah,
and what's really cool too is that we're all available for support.
Yeah.
And there's no charge for that. There's no nickel and diming and BS kind of stuff. There's pure support. You make a phone call, you get a phone call back, or somebody actually answers the phone and has the experience, because we're all out there working as well, to answer those questions and guide you through certain situations. But
there's a benefit too to being to go into a hands-on class, because you automatically get listed. You have one listing. We call them service badges, but there's a listing on the network that's called, the service badge is called MB Certified Pro.
Yeah.
And if you've gone through an MB hands-on training in the last year or so, you've already paid the $50 necessary just to be listed. And we charge $50 just because, we got to go in and do it. It takes a little time to list you. But if you've taken these hands-on class in the past, you want to be listed because when somebody goes to the MB Stone Care site, which is basically a homeowner-driven site, and the homeowner needs help, they need a professional, they go to Find a Pro, they hit Find a Pro, and it comes directly to a search bar at the Sureshine Service Network, and it's going to find every certified every MB certified professional in that area.
Yeah.
And so we would like everybody to be listed. So all you need to do, if you've done this, you could contact MB or you can contact myself and get listed. It's $50 just for the setup fee, and then it's free. It's for life, basically. And then if you you can be found at the MB with the MB certification, and then we can talk about becoming a member of the network as you grow. There's a little bit of a vetting process for the network, and we want to make sure that you're taking care of your clients. We're not a review site, so we want to make sure you're taking care of your clients. You have good reviews. You take care of, like, if there's bad reviews, you're handling them, whatever. That's really the only way we can know what kind of reputation you have is your online reputation. Some of it is how you interact with people that, in some of these Facebook groups and stuff too. I mean, there are people that simply just wouldn't fit with the network. But, so sorry to interrupt you on that, but the MB Certified Pro is really beneficial. And one last thing about that is, when you sign up for the Hands-On Network, you get free access to the MB Certified Pro training, which is basically the refresh. It's like this is your primer to the class. There's like 5 or 6 classes in there, right? Yep. Introduction to the master class, talks about diamonds, and you really just have to get through that to go to the training, because they don't really want you. I mean, you don't want to spend time talking about the intro stuff before, when they I'm sorry, you don't want to spend time. You will, but you don't want to, because you want to get hands-on as fast as possible, right? Yeah. So once they know all that vocabulary and they see the processes and they understand, then you can hit the ground running when you're in your hands-on training. Because how much you're paying for the hands-on class in the intro? It's like $1,800 or $1,900.
I think now it's $1,895. I believe.
$1,895. That's a lot of money to spend. So
yeah, it is. But also remember,
it's not a lot of money to spend with the training you get, but it's a lot of money to spend and just sit and listen to people talk.
Yeah,
and
it's an investment.
Yeah, you got to be hands-on as fast as possible. Yeah.
And also really too, just to note, once you pay for any of these segments, any of these classes, you can always come back as many times as you want.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
The phone support is great, but any time that if you're new and you're starting out and you come to a class, like Ted was saying before, a 4-day class is not going to train you for a career. But it's a first step to a long journey, and we're going to introduce you to all of us, a whole network of people that are on forums and people that that you can network with and work with, and you can come back to our classes at any time. We'd love to have you, and we want coming to those classes not to be like a corporate type of experience. We want it to be an experience that's an open learning environment.
Right.
So when people leave, they say, "Wow, that was great, and I learned a lot." And that's what we really want.
And it's
is to
98,
develop that.
It's 98% like hands-on. There's always a little bit of kind of classroom type discussions as when we wind up introducing some of those basic terms, basic concepts, that you need to know. But really, you're standing behind a floor machine for 4 days, or you're standing at a countertop with a Makita for 4 days. I mean, you're actually doing the work. You're not just talking about it and hearing someone talk to you about it. You're doing the work.
Yeah, you're doing the work, and like I remember answering a question in a hands-on class a few years ago. I can't remember the student, but we were doing a Rojo Alicante countertop. It was like a small slab, and he was like, "What would happen if this broke in half?" And so I picked it up and I broke it in half for him. I'm like, that would happen. Now put it back together. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "You have the knowledge. I'm not going to do it for you. Put it back together." And it took him a little while. It took him like 3 hours. But he already had the refinishing down. He already had the glue down. We already covered all these things. There was a little bit of an issue with the color matching, but he had it all. It takes a while to learn color matching.
Yeah, but that's a low cost way to learn.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to do a repair like that for the first time
In the field. Right.
You know, because that's a job that, you know, if you know how to do it, it takes you 4 hours. But if you do, the first time I ever did a granite seam leveling, okay, it took me 2 days. I ground. I didn't secure the either side of the low side or the high side.
So it was like bouncing.
So I kept grinding it, and it looked level. And the minute I let off the pressure, it popped back up like this.
Right.
I ground so much down on one side of the granite, I changed like the pattern of the granite. You know, and I was there for 2 days.
Yeah.
For I think back then I charged like $600 or something. You know, something I would do for a lot more money now, but it's also something now that would take me 2 hours,
2 or 3 hours,
maybe. You know, so being in an environment where you can take a piece of marble or granite and crack it in half and learn how to put it back together, and then you can take all the time that you want. You know, you don't have a check. You don't have payment writing on your abilities to successfully repair that piece of stone.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I think that stone refinishing in and of itself is just a long journey. I don't think that any of us, I know myself, it's a lifetime of learning. So many different materials coming in different situations. So it's a very dynamic business. It's so far from static.
Yeah, we're always called on to solve problems that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine? I mean, we've been doing this for 30 years, and it's like, what the heck?
We get phone calls, you know, into our business. Hey, I have this problem. Do you repair this? Do you repair this? And honestly, I don't know, but yes, I repair that.
Yeah.
And then you go there, but without that baseline knowledge that you get from years ago, doing the very first hands-on training, and then being a part of kind of global community of, you know, refinishers, right? That gave me that background, that baseline knowledge. So even if it's something that I haven't done before, I can still speak confidently about it, and I can walk into a situation like that with the confidence, knowing that even if I don't know exactly how to do it, I know the process to get there, right?
Right.
And that all starts off with having that, you know, kind of just baseline of knowledge that we get from the classes, or the knowledge that you have when you have access to like the service network. You know, that the body of knowledge that you have access to just by being connected to a group of people that are all over the country, all over the world, really, is you know, a huge resource.
There is a definite need for stone refinishers, especially today, because as other materials, carpets, and VCT and some other materials fade away, and stone becomes more prominent, and all different types of stone, there is a real need for stone refinishes, for quality stone refinishes. I mean, we get calls all the time, and what's nice about being in training and the supply business is we talk to contractors all the time, and most of us, I would say in the 90 percentile range, stay busy all the time. And I don't mean busy like 2 weeks booked out. I mean anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 months booked out. And then including, we're not even talking about travel jobs and joint ventures with other companies and doing things that for construction companies and different projects. There's so many different types of projects. There's historical restoration and prepping work, and this can lead into terrazzo work and terrazzo repairs and concrete and polishing concrete, and it's really just, it's an amazing journey. So
the online training tends to, what the online training does though, it doesn't really give you everything. It gives you the components so that you can put together your body of work, right? So like if you're doing a sink rail repair, there's a combination of skills that you need to do that, right? Those skills are basically like understanding adhesives, right? Color matching, cutting granite, grinding granite. All those things are taught separately.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're also teaching, like in the advanced class, you're teaching more specific skill set. You're putting them together, right? But all those things are taught separately, right? They get all that in the intro training. They get all that in the countertop training. They get all that on the online training. But then they have to put it together. That's it. It just takes a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of process, a little bit of thought to put it together.
Yeah, developing a system that works for you. Because the baseline system that you learn in the class, whether it's an online course or an in-person course, that baseline system, it may not be the best system for you.
That's the cool thing about what we've done.
Yeah.
The online training mirrors the hands-on training, mirrors the technical support. Everything's a process. And we're all on the same page, which is, everybody has a little bit different ways of doing stuff. You're always going to do that. And that's actually an advantage. Like you call Stu and you're going to get, or you call Josh, you're going to get some advice. You call me, you're going to get maybe a little bit different advice. That's three things that we've done that will work to solve your problem. Now you have three arrows in your quiver instead of one.
It's the same problem solved from three different directions using slightly different methods, and then you can take any of them or none of them and figure out your own method. But, you still have access to, every single year when I come to one of these shows or I'm at a class, somebody will go, "Hey, I have this issue. What would you do?" And I'll say, "Okay, well, I'll use tool XYZ."
Right.
And they'll go, "Oh, I never thought of even using that because I use that tool on this kind of thing, but I've never ever used it on this. I didn't even know you could use it on that." And that simple question is now like you said, they have another arrow in their quiver, another skill set, another tool that they have that can maximize it. And really, it's about maximizing their ability to make money.
Right.
That's really, we're not doing. I like polishing stone, okay, but I'm not doing it because I like it.
Right, we're doing it so that we can be with our family.
Exactly, I'm trying to provide for my family.
Yeah,
I want to.
Got colleges to pay for.
Yeah, I want to make money. That's that's why we're here. Not
sharing
just
techniques and products and processes for all that. And we bought Colorclad a couple of years back.
How's that been going?
Colorclad has
huge
been great
improvements
with
in
8 colors. Yeah. It's a very interesting product, and it works really well, and that's what sort of led us into the Adsil. So,
because you put the Adsil over after you color seal the grout, you put the Adsil over, and that Adsil locks the color on the grout.
So a lot of people know about color sealing, but not everybody that comes in here. Literally everybody. I haven't had one person know about Adsil. Yeah, like they're a great company, but they must not have any type of marketing.
No, they've never done.
Tell us a little bit about Adsil. Yeah. What is Adsil?
So Adsil is a siloxane coating, an SiO2 coating like liquid glass. It was originally developed by NASA to be used on the space shuttle tiles. If you would have told me 10 years ago that we'd be coating ceramic and porcelain tiles, I would have shook my head. Like, what are you talking about? But for your commercial customers, it puts you into a different mindset, because if they have 20 or 10 or whatever the number is, if they have multiple bathrooms that are frequently used and hard to maintain and keep clean, by cleaning them and prepping them and using color seal on the grout lines and then coating them with a product like Adsil, you can come back 10 years later, the service that we're providing for these folks. So I would say kitchens,
so Adsil makes everything impervious to a day-to-day use and mopping that typically will make grout dirty. Adsil prevents that.
Yeah, I don't like to use the word impervious because I believe everything wears.
Yeah, everything wears.
So there's a wear factor to everything, but Adsil makes...
So while it's intact,
maintenance,
makes everything pervious.
Makes maintenance or maintaining those type of installations so much easier.
Right.
We did them on the bathrooms in our facility months ago, and people that come in say, "Wow, your bathrooms look amazing. They look brand new."
And the first thing people ask me is, how easy is it to install? Do you spray it? Do you roll it?
You can roll it or flat mop it, but it needs some practice. It needs some testing before you apply. It definitely needs some prep work. and that's why there's training involved, because
Yeah,
it's
I was
not a
gonna ask you
product
about
that you just go out and buy it.
It's not like a mop and glow. It's not like
No,
your
no, it's a
It's
professional-
not like your acrylic waxes that you're getting at Home Depot or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not just putting it down with a sponge.
It's the real deal.
So how does somebody go about getting trained? Do they go
They
to
can contact us. They can contact Adsil.
There's a really special website though that I'm trying to get you to say.
The MB Stone Pro Professional website.
Yeah, but MB Stone Training, is it mbstonetraining.com?
Yeah, it's mbstonetraining.com.
Yeah, that's a new site.
It's all on there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know Denise
It is.
Daniels
It is a new
is
site.
pretty proud of. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
one of the
very proud of it.
Yeah, yeah. So all your training can be found at mbstonetraining.com, right?
.com.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be.
Yeah, and then for professionals, it's if they want to buy products, they go to mbstonepro.com, right?
Yes, mbstonepro.com is our supply company.
I just
pros.
bothered Denise.
And homeowners, you have three websites, right? Homeowners
Yes.
would go to mbstonecare.com,
Right.
right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, homeowners would go there, and we have a large product line, a full product line for our
And
homeowners.
if you're in the Denver area, looking for anti-etch or stone restoration or tile and grout cleaning, maybe not Adsil yet, but
Not yet.
maybe coming up.
Yeah.
Who knows? Where would they go to find you, Josh?
Our main website is stonerestorationworks.com. We just redesigned it. I'm actually really happy with
Yeah,
the way the new
it's really
website
cool.
looks. It's
I love it.
It's just it's super clean and really easy to navigate. We help set up StoneCare EDU. So a lot of the online training is still available at StoneCare EDU. Some of those videos are old. They're
Yeah, we have to redo some of those videos.
6 years old now.
But they're still holding up.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
it's still a baseline process.
The quality of the video is like you can see from the quality of some of the videos that have been coming out lately on my channel that the quality of the video 5 years ago is
we were
really
just using-
all in the person that's actually taking the video. Not the actual.
We were using
work.
we were using cell phones to take a lot of
Some
those
of
videos.
it, yeah, it's terrible.
So
Yeah.
So we
But
gotta,
but the information is sound.
Yeah.
We need to expand on it a little bit, but the information is sound. Yeah, we're going to be doing that over the next few
and then the service
like
network
years. So.
is just SureshineServiceNetwork.com. Right?
Yeah. So if you can anywhere in the country you want to find an applicator for anti-etch or any other service, you can go to SureshineServiceNetwork.com. You can find me on SureshineServiceNetwork.com. I cover the LA Orange County area. My business is ironically enough called Sureshine. Sureshine Care and Restoration Services. I'm located in Orange County, and we can be found direct at SureshineCares.com. If you want to find Stu Rosen in New York, New Jersey, and the tri-state area, right? Mm-hmm. Where would they go?
You can find our refinishing company at stoneshine.com.
Stoneshine.com? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
I
you
know there's a
can
lot of
call
.coms
us.
here, a lot of promotion, but I just want to make sure you're able to, any viewers able to find any viewer that literally, if they last this long in the video, they deserve to know how to find us, right?
Yep. And they can call us
If
too.
they survive this long, they need to know. They might be interested in actually communicating, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're also actively involved in a lot of the Facebook. The trade specific Facebook groups.
Stone restoration page.
Yeah, the Stone Restoration page.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's wrap this up. I really appreciate you guys being here.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
let's do it again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We will.
Awesome.